Demons and humans have been engaging in battle for 15 years, with the hero storing the Demon King's castle alone, with the battle set to conclude. However, the king is actually a well-endowed woman. After hearing out the Demon Queen, the hero places his sword down and lets her speak. She explains that both sides have contributed to the war and the suffering. She explains that in this time of war, the only people thriving are the wealthy and the strong, using the weak as a line of defense and to line up their pockets, and to fill their bellies up more and more off the back of the helpless and the foolish. Poor need the wealthy for food and financial help. Explain the war has been a profitable business for the human economy in the Central Kingdoms. In the end, regardless of who wins or if the war is put to bed, the fight will result in a large civil war. The hero takes a long time to think if her words are actually true or not, but seeing there's no other way, lets her set up her plan in motion. The queen has a plan to bring wealth and permanent peace to both sides, so the two of them agree and are committed to the plan to each other, being an unofficial but official marriage. The demon lord and the hero settle down in a human settlement at the demon queen's mansion. When they arrive, Maoyuu introduces maid Cho, being her best friend and her house attendant. As time goes on, more rumors start to form over the demon king and the hero fighting in a gruesome battle where both go missing trying to recover. In the meantime, the Demon Queen goes undercover as a noble woman, nicknamed the Crimson Scholar. The scholar tries to persuade the Elder Chief to adopt an agricultural style that would allow them to have food year-long, rather than periodically. This fails to catch on. Later at night, they hear a large commotion going on in the stables. Here they meet Ani and Amoto, two young girls trying to escape a life of servitude. The two sisters are berated by the head maid for wanting them to be like insects and not being able to choose their own life. They want to know how to become humans and how humans should behave, resulting in the head maid asking for more workers under their ladyship, and the two of them become ladies in waiting, working as maids. Crimson Scholar begins her teaching career, teaching the son of a merchant, a warrior, and a noble, and the elder sister, teaching them about the war thus far and the repercussions it has on society, in hopes of changing their perspective, and to better educate the youth moving forward, as well as them talking to their powerful fathers, hoping that they could change their mind. Due to this action, her hard work pays off, with the village wanting to hear her solution on the hunger problem. This then gets them a meeting with the church, meeting with a nun who turns out to be a female knight from the hero's previous group, her name being Anna Kishi. The female knight gets emotional, expressing her concern for his life, with not seeing him or hearing from him for quite some time, to then find him perfectly fine with a curvy red-haired woman, wondering who she is to him. Crimson Scholar is able to explain and elaborate a tale of Hero being severely injured, needing her care, and now working as her bodyguard. The knight explained that after the hero was not found, the rest of the party members received a large fund and went their separate ways. The old man archer going to work for an intelligent agency, the female mage going on to Demon Realm to search for the hero, and with her working as a nun here at the church. Scholar presents her secret weapon to the knight as a cheap crop they could eat, but the scholar wanting her to have the church dismantle the current crop system and educate the southern nations on how to farm more efficiently. The Merchant Guild gets a dry compass as a gift from the scholar, with them marveling in the construction of the device, and trying to come up with a way to best monopolize this product. At home, Hero is wanting to do more work, instead of just sitting around. He wants to look around for his old companions. The Demon Queen thinking this is because she was an old love interest, or because he's not attracted to her curvy body, suggesting they get more physical, as this coming from head maid, since they've been living together for about 2 months now with no physical interactions, telling Crimson she has to be more aggressive with them, also playing to her insecurities and her more fleshy assets, even offering to give him a goodbye kiss, with Hero not returning the favor. Queen bestows upon him a bulky, intimidating armor set, telling him to be her enforcer, under her authority, where he would meet several demon generals and officials that she can trust. Female Knight relocated to the villa to teach the students swordsmanship. Seinen Shonen is a young merchant who pays Scholar a visit. The head maid wants to present her lady in the most appealing light, so she comes out of the deal ahead. The scholar shows him a new crop, being corn, which would help raise mankind's food output overall. The Merchant Alliance was to help support the crop growing in popularity. The young merchant tries to propose to the scholar, being his new wife, with her feeling flustered but refusing. The queen becomes impatient with the hero, with him not using his teleportation to come back home. She starts to think the worst, with the head maid comforting her and also hiding the hero, with also warning the hero that she can't do this forever and he must come home. Up to this point, he's been sending her back letters, but also being in the comfort of their own home, telling them all about the battles he's been on and what he's been doing. The southern countries construct a massive naval force in their attempt to retake Aurora Island, being the demon's lone territory in the human world. In the Metropolis, a human-held demon city, the soldiers have been harassing and assaulting the demons that occupy that area. Hero saves a young demon girl who's in the same conflict. White Knight King naval fleet is sent to go take over Aurora Island, but is attacked by demon krakens, destroying most of the fleets, leaving just a couple of survivors, including the Winter Prince, whose father is murdered, resulting in the White Knight King's hasty attack. The White Knight King refuses to accept the responsibility or the fault of the battle. The Winter Prince, who the old archer serves under, succeeds his father's throne, becoming the new king. He asks for a female knight to join him to reclaim the island. Before leaving, Scholar reveals that she is also the demon lord, trying to have Anya be her friend. But Anna already knew this because of the hero telling her a while back. The New Year festival approaches, and Hero and the Queen are reunited after a year apart. After both receiving verbal blows to each other, exclaiming their jealousy that other people have gotten close to them, the two of them come together to enjoy their time. The Crimson Scholar comes to the Winter King's aid, devising a plan to make a bridge out of icicles. Anna marches to reclaim the Aurora Islands. After the victory, they're able to employ some new rules to allow a new military force to be made and kept in the demon territories. The Winter King offers titles to the female knight and Crimson Scholar. The Fire Dragon Princess comes to visit the Black Knight, being Hero, with her seeing herself as his wife. Crimson Scholar, seeing the elder maid, Annie, as her apprentice, takes her and Hero to the Iron Nation to have a new invention made for them, this being the printing press. She explains that if this is able to catch on, education and information will be available to more people. Back home, Female Knight and the Scholar fall asleep together in bed with Hero, with Scholar informing him that she'll be gone for a couple of days to renew her reign as the Demon King. Annie's in charge of Scholar's normal duties, and is going to continue working as a Scholar, going to meetings and posing as her with a magical ring. After being defeated, the White Knight King is looking for revenge on the Scholar for the loss of his territories, so he devises a scheme to make her look like a heretic in the eyes of the church. At home, Annie is having trouble posing as a scholar in front of the young merchant. Hero is able to intervene, however, and is able to devise a plan to make the merchant on their side, persuading him with the idea of gathering information about the demon realm that he could use for his business. Fire Dragon Princess is asked to host a banquet to show the merchant an act of good faith. Back in the demon realm, the female mage and her party come to speak with the demon lord in the outer library. The scholar goes into the ritual chambers. At home, the female knight swears her loyalty to Hero for as long as she lives. An officer of the church comes in to arrest the scholar, labeling her as a heretic, and because of her aid to the Winter King. The Winter King has to offer up the scholar. The conflict could escalate into a full-on war with the church and the central countries. Hero tells them he'll offer up the scholar to rescue her at a later date, with Annie being the scholar in disguise. The young merchant gathers information about the church and the central territories, being the same people that make up the heretic laws, trying to understand why they're labeling her as a heretic. The reason why they're labeling her as a heretic is because of her knowledge being what gave the southern territories their independence from their aid. Taking action, he enlists the assistance of one of Scholar's pupils, being the young noble. Maid Annie, who's actually the Crimson Scholar in disguise, is set to have trial in front of the public. Hero is there waiting for his chance to save her. The church officer labels her a heretic, with the scholar being chained and then beaten in front of the public. When she's given her chance to speak, she gives them an inspiring speech detailing her life of serfdom, how her family was killed by this life, but she was given the chance to learn and raise herself as a true person. She informs them that the spirit allows all this chance, giving them the choice to choose their own destiny, and no one has the authority to take that away from them, with anyone that tries to stop them being lower than insects. The church is enraged by her speech, telling the crowd to stone her, with the crowd instead throwing the boulders at the officials. One of the central guards goes in to try and kill the scholar, but the Winter King intervenes, calling the church into question of corruption and calling the scholar a saint. The church vows that the Winter Kingdom will be held accountable for their interfering. At the same time, a blue-skinned demon is looking on in his kingdom. This situation causes the southern countries to band together to defy the central nations by abolishing serfdom and lowering the taxes. To encourage people to migrate from the central to the south, Coven secedes from the central church to found a new religious figure, being named the True Church of the Light Spirit, using the help of the printing press to make pamphlets, and they make use of bards that they can use to make folk songs and spread their message of inclusion. The young merchant starts to make his purchases from Central of their wheat supply, using his connections with the nobles to make the Central's food costs rise, while also halting the exports from South to Central, effectively hoarding the food, causing the Central to start a war with the South. The Blue-Skinned Demon clan sends troops to Central to aid them. Fire Dragon Princess and the young merchant discover that to avoid inflation in the Central territories, they made a new currency. Hero ventures to Central to attack the Blue Demon clan alone, to only be surprised by having female mage who comes in to back him up. the young merchant reveals his intentions of having the South make their own currency, and to then expand their currency into the demon realm. Flame Dragon Princess reveals her true nature as well, with also showing she is the ambassador of the demon kind. In the Demon Lord chambers, the queen emerges possessed by the ghosts of the old demon kings. Headmaid, after having her right arm cut off, manages to shove her back inside, to retrieve at a later date. The serfs of the Iron Countries and Winter Ice flee their kingdom, causing them to attack. The commander conducts a surprise attack of the east of the Iron Kingdom. Their attack fails due to the young warrior's sophisticated tactics which he learned from the Crimson Scholar. After passing through the hole left by the explosion, they discover that the two realms are actually on the same planet, sharing half the world. Hero Ghost retrieve the Scholar from the demon realm, freeing her from the possession. Female magician goes to the Winter King with a way to make Central stop their attack by manufacturing a cure for smallpox, this being a way to save their people that was given to her by the Crimson Scholar. The Iron Kingdom's Crusader discovers the Maid sisters in a printing factory and tries to murder her. Seeing Anna as the Crimson Scholar, the girl is saved by the young warrior, being her classmate. The young warrior pushes him to his death on top of a well. The hired mercenaries of Central get enraged for not having enough food and being overworked, with the horses being ill from the last fight with the young warrior. The female knight cavalry uses a hit-and-run tactic on the mercenaries. Central suffers a great loss, having to leave and prepare for a harsh winter. It is revealed that the blue demons, along with the Central leaders and the Central churches, are the real villains, being the ones who inspired the war, planning to wage war, using one of the Crimson Scholar's designs for firearms. The Demon Queen wants to hold a summit in the demon realm, with the demons thinking she's asking for a full-scale war on the humans, with her having to clarify her intentions. The young merchant is able to persuade the southern authorities to start establishing a future commerce with the demons. At home, Headmaid and the Demon Lord start to unwind about what they've accomplished, with them being surprised how much An has grown. So that's where we're going to end off on today's video, and as always, if you liked the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot more videos just like this one, so I'll see you next time.